In the vast expanse of eternity, where time is but a mere whisper against the backdrop of eternity, there existed only void and darkness. Yet, within the depths of this primordial abyss, there stirred a divine presence, a consciousness that yearned to breathe life into the emptiness that enveloped all. And so, with a voice that echoed through the cosmos, the Creator spoke into existence the heavens and the earth. In the beginning, there was chaos, but from chaos emerged order, as light pierced through the darkness, banishing shadows and illuminating the expanse of the firmament. As the days unfolded, the Creator fashioned the world with meticulous care. He separated the waters from the land, adorned the sky with stars, and filled the seas with creatures of every kind. He breathed life into the dust of the earth, shaping humanity in His own image, male and female, a reflection of divine love and creativity. Among the first to walk the earth were Adam and Eve, dwellers of the pristine Garden of Eden, a paradise untouched by sorrow or strife. They reveled in the beauty of creation, tending to the lush vegetation and communing with the animals that roamed freely. Yet, amidst the splendor of Eden, temptation lurked in the shadows, embodied in the form of a serpent whose silver tongue whispered lies and deceit. Seduced by the promise of knowledge, Adam and Eve succumbed to temptation, partaking of the forbidden fruit and shattering the harmony of paradise. Cast out from Eden, Adam and Eve found themselves adrift in a world marred by sin and suffering. They toiled the earth, grappling with the harsh realities of mortality and estrangement from their Creator. But even in their exile, they found solace in the promise of redemption, a hope that would echo through the annals of time. In the heart of Eden, the story of Cain and Abel unfolded, a tale of envy and fraternal strife. Cain, a tiller of the soil, offered the fruits of his labor as a sacrifice to the Creator. Abel, a shepherd, presented the choicest of his flock with reverence and devotion. Yet, when the Creator favored Abel's offering over Cain's, jealousy consumed the elder brother's heart. In a fit of rage, Cain slew his brother, staining the earth with innocent blood and forever altering the course of human history. Cast out from Eden, Cain wandered the earth, haunted by the echoes of his sin. He bore the mark of his transgression, a scarlet letter that branded him as a wanderer, cursed to roam the land in search of redemption. Meanwhile, Adam and Eve mourned the loss of their sons, their hearts heavy with grief and sorrow. Yet, even in the depths of despair, they clung to the promise of redemption, a hope that transcended the boundaries of time and space. As generations passed, humanity spread across the earth, forging kingdoms and civilizations amidst the tapestry of creation. Yet, the echoes of Eden lingered still, a reminder of humanity's fallen nature and its yearning for reconciliation with the Creator. As generations passed, the descendants of Adam and Eve multiplied, spreading across the earth like seeds scattered by the wind. Among them was Noah, a righteous man in a world consumed by wickedness. In the face of divine judgment, he heeded the call to build an ark, a vessel of salvation, amidst the deluge that threatened to engulf all of creation. With faith as his compass, Noah weathered the storm, preserving the remnants of life within the ark's sturdy confines. And when the waters receded, he emerged onto a new world, a world washed clean by the purifying waters of judgment, a world ripe with the promise of renewal and rebirth. But the echoes of Eden lingered still, beckoning humanity towards reconciliation with their Creator. And so, in the fullness of time, a covenant was forged, a covenant between God and His chosen people, a covenant that would shape the destiny of nations and generations to come. In the fullness of time, the sons of men sought to defy the bounds of mortality, their ambition reaching skyward like tendrils yearning for the heavens. In the land of Shinar, they raised a tower, a monument to their pride and arrogance, a structure that sought to breach the very gates of heaven. But the Creator looked upon their folly and saw the hubris that dwelled within their hearts. In His wisdom, He scattered their tongues, confounding their speech and sowing discord among them. Thus, the tower crumbled, a testament to the frailty of human ambition and the consequences of pride. In the land of Ur, nestled amidst the cradle of civilization, there lived a man named Abram. He dwelled among his kin, content in the familiarity of his surroundings, yet his heart yearned for something more, a calling that whispered through the winds of destiny. One fateful day, the voice of the divine broke through the silence, commanding Abram to depart from his homeland, his family, and his father's house. With unwavering faith, Abram heeded the call, embarking on a journey into the unknown, guided only by the promise of a land flowing with milk and honey. Accompanied by his wife Sarai and his nephew Lot, Abram set forth across the vast desert expanse, traversing rivers, valleys, and mountains that stretched into the horizon. Along the way, they encountered trials and tribulations, yet their faith remained steadfast, illuminated by the guiding light of divine providence. As they journeyed through the land of Canaan, the promise of God's covenant burned brightly within Abram's heart. He built altars to the Lord, offering sacrifices of praise and thanksgiving, a testament to his unwavering devotion and trust in the Almighty. But the journey was not without its challenges. Famine gripped the land, threatening to engulf Abram and his household in despair. Seeking refuge in the land of Egypt, Abram found himself ensnared in a web of deceit and danger, as Pharaoh's courtiers coveted Sarai's beauty. Yet, even in the face of adversity, the hand of the divine remained ever present, shielding Abram and Sarai from harm and leading them safely back to the land of Canaan. It was there that Abram's faith was tested once more, as discord arose between his herdsmen and those of his nephew Lot. In an act of selflessness and humility, Abram offered Lot the choice of any land he desired, trusting in the abundance of God's provision. And so, Lot departed for the fertile plains of the Jordan Valley, leaving Abram to dwell in the land of Canaan, where he pitched his tent and built yet another altar to the Lord. As the years passed, Sarai, though barren and advanced in years, despaired of bearing a child. In a moment of doubt and desperation, she urged Abram to take her Egyptian maidservant, Hagar, as a wife, hoping to fulfill the promise of progeny through her. In obedience to Sarai's wishes, Abram took Hagar as his wife, and she conceived a son named Ishmael, born of the bondmaid's union with Abram. Though Ishmael was not the fulfillment of God's covenant with Abram, he was nonetheless cherished as a son, destined to be the father of a great nation. In due time, Abram's faith was rewarded with the fulfillment of God's promise. Sarai, though barren and advanced in years, miraculously bore a son named Isaac, a child of promise, destined to be the heir of God's covenant with Abram. Yet the journey of faith was not without its trials. In a moment of divine testing, God called upon Abram to offer Isaac as a sacrifice of obedience and surrender that would test the very depths of his faith. With a heavy heart and trembling hands, Abram ascended Mount Moriah, prepared to offer his beloved son upon the altar. But even in the darkest hour, the voice of the divine stayed his hand, providing a ram caught in the thicket as a substitute sacrifice, a testament to God's unwavering faithfulness and provision. In the land of Canaan, beneath the scorching sun and amidst the rolling hills, Abraham, the patriarch of a burgeoning nation, found himself facing a new chapter in the saga of his life, a chapter marked by grief, hope, and the solemnity of passing generations. Sarah, his beloved wife and partner in the journey of faith, had breathed her last, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and love that echoed through the corridors of time. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the land, Abraham wept for his departed Sarah, his heart heavy with the weight of loss. Yet, amidst the sorrow, a sense of purpose stirred within Abraham's soul. He knew that he must honor Sarah's memory by securing a resting place befitting her dignity and stature, a place where her legacy would endure for generations to come. And so, with resolve born of love and reverence, Abraham approached the Hittites, the inhabitants of the land, seeking to purchase a burial plot, a field and cave in the field of Machpelah, owned by Ephron the Hittite. In the presence of the elders of the land, Abraham, a man of great wealth and influence, negotiated with Ephron, insisting on paying full price for the field, a gesture of integrity and respect in the midst of grief and loss. And so the field of Machpelah became Sarah's final resting place. a sacred sanctuary where her memory would be preserved for eternity. As Abraham mourned the passing of his beloved Sarah, he turned his attention to the legacy of promise entrusted to him by the Almighty, the promise of descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and the sands on the seashore. With Sarah gone, Abraham recognized the urgency of securing a bride for his beloved son Isaac, a bride who would walk in the footsteps of faith and carry forward the covenant established by the Almighty. In obedience to his father's command, Isaac, a young man of quiet strength and unwavering devotion, consented to the journey of betrothal, trusting in the providence of the Almighty to guide his steps. Isaac, the son of promise, walked the land of his forefathers, his heart burdened with the weight of legacy and the promise of a covenant that spanned generations. Beside him stood Rebekah, his beloved wife, whose beauty and grace mirrored the purity of her soul. Their twin sons, Esau and Jacob, were as different as the sun and the moon, their paths diverging from the moment of their birth. Esau, a hunter and man of the fields, was beloved by his father for his strength and vigor. Jacob, on the other hand, was a quiet and contemplative soul, drawn to the quietude of the tents and the mysteries of the divine. As the years passed, the brothers grew and matured, their destinies intertwined in a tapestry woven by the hand of fate. Yet beneath the surface of familial harmony, jealousy simmered, threatening to tear apart the bonds of brotherhood. In a moment of hunger and desperation, Esau, famished from a day's hunting, exchanged his birthright to Jacob for a bowl of lentil stew, a decision that would alter the course of their lives and shape the destiny of nations. But the tale of Jacob's journey did not end there. In a moment of deceit and cunning, Jacob, at the behest of his mother Rebekah, disguised himself as his brother Esau and sought his father's blessing, a blessing that rightfully belonged to the elder son. And so, with the taste of deception heavy upon his lips, Jacob fled from the land of Canaan, his heart heavy with the weight of guilt and uncertainty. Yet, even in the depths of despair, the hand of the divine guided his steps, leading him to the land of his uncle Laban, where a new chapter of his life would unfold. In the land of Haran, Jacob found refuge in the house of Laban, his mother's brother, a man of cunning and shrewdness, whose schemes mirrored Jacob's own. And so Jacob labored for Laban, tending his flocks and earning the hand of his beloved Rachel, a woman of beauty and virtue, whose love ignited Jacob's soul like a flame in the darkness. Yet Laban's deceit knew no bounds, and Jacob found himself ensnared in a web of manipulation and betrayal. Time and again, Laban changed Jacob's wages, seeking to cheat him of his rightful due. But Jacob, a man of resilience and determination, persevered, trusting in the Almighty to deliver him from the clutches of his deceitful uncle. As the years passed, Jacob's flocks multiplied, and his family grew, a testament to the providence of the Almighty and the blessings of the covenant passed down through the generations. Yet, even amidst the abundance, Jacob's heart longed for home, for the land of Canaan, where his father Isaac dwelt, and where the promise of God's covenant awaited its fulfillment. And so, with a resolve born of faith and determination, Jacob set forth on a journey of return, a journey that would test his strength, challenge his character, and ultimately transform him into the patriarch of a nation destined for greatness. Joseph, the beloved son of Jacob, was a dreamer whose visions spoke of greatness and destiny. But his brothers, envious of his favor in their father's eyes, harbored resentment in their hearts, a resentment that would set in motion a chain of events that would shape the course of their lives forever. One fateful day, as Joseph tended to his father's flocks in the fields, his brothers seized the opportunity to rid themselves of the thorn in their side. They plotted to kill him, but in a moment of mercy or perhaps greed, they instead sold him into slavery to a passing caravan bound for Egypt. As Joseph watched the land of Canaan fade into the distance, his heart heavy with sorrow and uncertainty, he clung to the promises of his dreams, the promises of greatness and prosperity that seemed impossibly distant in the face of his present circumstances. In Egypt, Joseph found himself thrust into a world of darkness and despair, where he served as a slave in the house of Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's court. But even amidst the chains of bondage, Joseph's spirit remained unbroken, his faith unwavering in the face of adversity. Yet the trials of Joseph's journey were far from over. Falsely accused of a crime he did not commit, Joseph found himself cast into the depths of Pharaoh's prison, a place of shadows and despair where hope seemed a distant memory. But even in the darkest hour, the hand of the divine guided Joseph's steps, leading him to interpret the dreams of Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker a gift that would ultimately pave the way for his redemption and ascent to power. When Pharaoh himself had dreams that troubled his spirit, the cupbearer remembered Joseph's gift and spoke of his ability to interpret dreams. Summoned before Pharaoh, Joseph revealed the meaning of the dreams: 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine. Impressed by Joseph's wisdom and discernment, Pharaoh appointed him as second in command over all of Egypt, entrusting him with the monumental task of overseeing the nation's preparations for the impending famine. As the years passed, Joseph's dreams of greatness were realized, and the promise of his youth was fulfilled in ways he could never have imagined. Yet, amidst the abundance and prosperity, Joseph's heart remained tethered to the land of Canaan, to his father Jacob and the brothers who had betrayed him. And so, when famine struck the land of Canaan, Joseph's brothers journeyed to Egypt in search of food, unknowingly standing before the brother they had once betrayed. But in a moment of grace and forgiveness, Joseph revealed himself to them, embracing them in a bond of reconciliation and love that transcended the pain of the past. Together, Joseph and his brothers embarked on a journey of healing and redemption, a journey that would reunite their fractured family and pave the way for a future filled with hope and promise. As the sun set on the horizon, casting long shadows across the land of Egypt, Joseph's journey continued, a journey marked by betrayal, resilience, and the unwavering faith in the providence of the Almighty. And amidst the trials and tribulations, Joseph's heart remained steadfast, his spirit unbroken, as he walked the path laid out before him, guided by the hand of the divine and the promise of a future filled with hope and redemption.